Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a nice day. Before we begin the video, please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. General Hospital's Dominic Zamprogna opened up about how he approached the scenes where Dante gives Gio a verbal thrashing. On General Hospital, Dante was livid when his son Rocco almost died recently. He blamed Gio for not calling him once he found Rocco unconscious at the college party he crashed. Instead, he brought him to the Quartermain boathouse to sleep it off. It turned out Rocco had alcohol poisoning, and thanks to Cody, he was brought to the hospital and his life was saved. But Dante also doesn't know that Gio is his long-lost son, so watching him throw his anger at the young violinist is unnerving. Dominic Zamprogna recently discussed Dante's rage toward Gio. Dominic Zamprogna, who's played Dante since 2009, opened up to Soap Opera Digest about Dante flipping out on Giovanni Massa. He recounted the fact that Dante had lost Sam, who died after donating part of her liver to his then comatose ex-wife, Lulu, Alexa Heavens. Coupled with that, Lulu woke up after the surgery, and life hasn't been the same for anyone since. So his initial anger toward Gio was understandable, according to the actor. His whole life has gotten turned upside down, and in that moment with Gio, it all just becomes too much for him, he explained. Gio was simply attending the party and had no idea Rocco, Finn Carr, was there, and when he found him, he simply thought he needed to sleep off the alcohol, not realizing the kid was in mortal danger. In the hospital hallway, Dante really let Gio have it, screaming at him for what seemed like hours. Zamprogna explained that while most won't admit it, people can go ballistic on occasion. He stated that some things can push a person over the edge, and when you're in that frame of mind, you don't always have the ability to take the right action. Before he even received the scripts for the scenes where he's tearing Gio a new one, the powers that be warned him what Dante's reaction toward the young man would be. After reading them, he agreed that Dante's actions were harsh. He remarked that those kinds of scenes aren't very enjoyable to him, noting that it's sort of dysfunctional, you know. However, I tried to find the truth in it. Dante Falconeri has never been a man to blow up without reason. As one of Port Charles' most steadfast detectives and a father figure to many, Dante is usually calm, composed, and even-handed. So when viewers started noticing his growing hostility toward young Gio, short for Giovanni Cerullo, it raised eyebrows across the General Hospital fandom. What could be causing this cold, nearly irrational anger? At first glance, it seemed like a simple personality clash or an overprotective streak. But the truth behind Dante's rage is far more layered, emotional, and deeply personal than anyone expected. And it all ties back to family legacies, painful memories, and a secret that threatens to unravel the fragile trust between the Falconeris and Cerullos for good. It all began when Gio Cerullo, the musically gifted and ambitious son of Brooklyn and an off-screen father, returned to Port Charles. Bursting onto the scene with a fiery attitude and a confident charm, Gio quickly made an impression on both the town and on viewers. A natural flirt, he showed interest in Jocelyn, Trina, and even flirted harmlessly with Maxie. While his behavior seemed youthful and impulsive, it rubbed Dante the wrong way immediately. At first, fans assumed Dante's annoyance was rooted in Big Brother instincts. After all, Gio is his cousin through Olivia and Brooklyn's family tree. But Dante's sharp tone, passive-aggressive remarks, and even his physical tension around Gio hinted at something deeper. The tension really began boiling over during a scene at Kelly's when Dante interrupted Gio's conversation with Jocelyn. Gio had been showing her a new song he wrote, an emotional ballad about loss, and Dante barged in with a sarcastic comment that took everyone aback. Jocelyn called him out, and even Gio looked confused. Why would Dante be so dismissive of something so heartfelt? Behind the scenes, the writers were planting seeds of a growing internal storm, a conflict that tied Dante's pain to Gio's presence in ways no one could have imagined. Insiders at General Hospital hint that Dante sees too much of himself in Gio. His rebelliousness, his desire to be seen, his desperate need to prove his worth to a town that often sidelines the younger generation. But it goes deeper than projection. According to long-buried history, Dante believes that Gio's presence threatens everything he's built. And the root of it all, a betrayal from the past involving Brooklyn, Lois Cerullo, and the man who might just be Gio's real father. Rumors are swirling that Gio's biological father may not be the anonymous ex-Brooklyn referenced in vague conversations, but instead someone from Dante's past who hurt the Falconeri family deeply. Whispers suggest that Gio may be the secret love child of Brooklyn and a man Dante once arrested, a corrupt cop-turned-criminal who played a role in Dante's PTSD-inducing case in Brooklyn. If true, this would mean Gio represents a living reminder of betrayal, violence, and the trauma Dante worked so hard to bury. Dante, of course, hasn't confirmed this theory aloud, but his body language says it all. Whenever Gio walks into a room, Dante's jaw clenches. When Gio speaks about justice, family, or honor, Dante visibly winces. There's no escaping the fact that Gio triggers something in Dante, a mix of fear, resentment, and a heartbreaking sense of loss. But the most tragic part, Gio has no idea why he's being treated this way. To the audience, Gio comes across as a sweet, ambitious, slightly cocky young man just trying to find his place in the world. He adores Brooklyn, respects Lois, and even looks up to Dante in small, awkward ways. Gio's repeated attempts to bond, inviting Dante to his open mic night, asking for advice on how to navigate life in Port Charles, trying to connect through Olivia, have all been met with cold dismissal or outright contempt. And Gio's frustration is starting to show. Recently, viewers watched as Gio confided in Trina that he doesn't understand what he did wrong. He's trying his best, he said, but some people just don't want to see you succeed. It was a heartbreaking moment that highlighted just how misunderstood Gio really is, and how much Dante's unresolved trauma is poisoning a relationship that could have been redemptive for them both. Brooklyn, meanwhile, is starting to notice. In a heated scene at the Quatermain mansion, she confronted Dante, demanding to know why he's targeting her son. Dante lashed out, accusing her of hiding things, of unleashing someone into this town with no warning, no context, and expecting everyone to pretend like it's fine. Brooklyn, visibly shaken, demanded clarity, but Dante shut down the conversation, walking out with clenched fists and misty eyes. Lois has also taken note, stepping into protective mother bear mode and vowing to get to the bottom of it. With Lois on the case, it's only a matter of time before long-held secrets are forced into the light. The conflict between Dante and Gio is more than just a personal grudge. It's a ticking time bomb. As Dante spirals into more aggressive behavior, his actions are starting to affect his job. Anna Devane has already warned him to leave personal matters outside of official investigations. If Dante lets his feelings for Gio interfere with police work again, his badge could be on the line. And considering how deeply tied Dante's identity is to his job, that threat cuts deeper than most. Meanwhile, Sonny Corinthos, Dante's father, and the town's reigning mob figure, is starting to see the cracks. In a rare quiet scene, Sonny confronted Dante about his anger. "This ain't you," Sonny said gently. "Whatever's going on with Gio, fix it. Before you do something you can't walk back from." Dante, clearly on edge, admitted nothing but promised to try. Still, viewers could see that Sonny's words struck a nerve. What comes next for Dante and Gio depends on the truth coming out, and how each man handles it. If Gio learns that his father was a criminal tied to Dante's darkest days, will he lash out? Will he spiral into the same anger Dante is projecting? Or will Gio prove himself stronger, more forgiving, more like the man Dante once was? And can Dante face his own pain long enough to see Gio for who he truly is, not just the son of someone he despises, but a young man carving his own path. There's also the question of legacy. Olivia, Lois, Brooklyn, all these strong-willed women have spent years trying to keep their families intact. The Cerullos and Falconeris have deep roots in Port Charles, and this fracture threatens everything they've built. If Dante and Gio don't find a way to make peace, it could tear their family apart in ways that might never be repaired. Fans have taken to social media with mixed reactions. Some sympathize with Dante, pointing out his mental health struggles and traumatic past. Others argue that he's being unfair to Gio and needs to face his demons rather than projecting them onto an innocent kid. The debate has only fueled more interest in the storyline, with viewers eagerly awaiting the reveal of Gio's true paternity, the secret Dante's hiding, and whether reconciliation is even possible. And then there's the biggest twist of all. What if Gio isn't who he says he is? A cryptic spoiler from a GH insider hints that someone may be manipulating the situation from the shadows, feeding Gio half-truths, and watching the chaos unfold. Could Tracy Quartermain have a hand in this? Could Valentine Cassadine be using Gio as a pawn in a larger game against Sunny and Dante? Or is it someone even closer, someone trusted, like Chase or even Brooklyn herself, hiding a devastating truth that will rock the town? In true General Hospital fashion, the drama is just getting started. But one thing is clear. Dante's rage toward Gio isn't just a simple case of ego or overprotectiveness. It's about pain, betrayal, family, and the impossible pressure of living up to legacies that were broken long before either of them had a chance to shape their own. As the show barrels toward a summer of secrets, confessions, and possible redemption, fans are bracing for the moment when Dante finally faces the truth and decides whether he'll keep letting the past define him or finally break free and build something new with the young man he spent so long pushing away. Because at the end of the day, Gio doesn't want Dante's job, his badge, or his legacy. He just wants a chance. And unless Dante can find a way to let go of the ghosts that haunt him, he might destroy the one person who still sees something good in him. The clock is ticking in Port Charles, and when the truth finally comes out, no one will be left unchanged. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our YouTube channel for more update news.